Dear students, so yesterday we were discussing about chemical properties of haloalkanes. Today also we continue the chemical properties. So take nucleophilic substitution reactions in haloalkane. So different type of reactions are possible in haloalkanes. Nucleophilic substitution reaction can be considered. You take any haloalkane. This is bromomethane, EPOC name, common name, methyl bromide. This will involve in nucleophilic substitution reaction. With haloalkane, we have attacking species hydroxide ion. It is a nucleophile. And what will be the product? Methanol will be the product. So we already studied. Bromine will leave us bromide ion, and this nucleophile will attack the carbon. We get methanol. And now we are going to study the mechanism of the reaction. Methyl bromide involves in nucleophilic substitution reaction to give the product methanol. What is the mechanism for the reaction? This is following SN2 mechanism. It is a nucleophilic substitution reaction. This is following SN2 reaction mechanism. This is bimolecular. Number 2 represents what? Bimolecular. N denotes nucleophilic. And S denotes substitution. So this is a nucleophilic substitution reaction and its mechanism is SN2. The expansion of SN2 is bimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction. And in this order you have to mention mechanism. S should be a capital letter, N should be a capital letter which will be mentioned in the subscript part of S, and 2 can be written as usual. So this is following SN2 mechanism. The formation of alcohol from alkyl halide is forming SN2 mechanism. Why we have to say the nucleophilic substitution as bimolecular nucleophilic substitution? Because the rate of this nucleophilic substitution reaction is depending on the concentration of substrate. So what is the substrate here? Haloalkane. As well as we have nucleophile. Rate of nucleophilic substitution reaction is depending on the concentration of haloalkane and the concentration of nucleophile. The rate depends on the concentration of two molecules. So it is called a bimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction. This is called a rate expression. In 12th standard you will study how to write rate law or rate expression for a reaction. So this is a rate expression or a rate law. The proportionality can be removed by introducing a constant K. It's called the rate constant. And this reaction is following second order kinetics. In 12th we will study what is first order reaction and the second order reaction. So bimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction is following second order chemical kinetics. Rate constant can be denoted as K2. So consider methyl bromide, it becomes methanol due to the nucleophile. There will be a substitution reaction. Its mechanism is bimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction because the rate of this nucleophilic substitution reaction depends on the concentration of haloalkane and the concentration of nucleophile. To remove the proportionality, we introduce a rate constant K2. Why we have to mention it as a K2? It is the following second order kinetics. Okay. How much steps are available in this SN2 mechanism? How much steps are there? Only one step. So reactant becomes product in only one step. So it is called a one-step process. So reactant is bromomethane and the product is methanol, and it is a one-step process. First, we have the reactant bromomethane, which is attacked by a nucleophile. So attacking species is a nucleophile, OH minus hydroxide ion. Usually this nucleophile will attack the head carbon in the back side. So this will not attack in this position. Okay. So nucleophile will attack this head carbon from the back side. Okay. Because of this attack, we get a transition state. So before getting the product methanol, there will be a formation of transition state. Transition state is highly unstable in nature. So we used different words already: activated complex, intermediate, transition state. So these are all unstable molecules. Before getting the product, we will get these unstable substances. Transition state is highly unstable. Intermediates can be isolated, but transition states cannot be isolated. So when a nucleophile is attacking this head carbon from the back side, it is trying to make a covalent bond. So a nucleophile is making a covalent bond with the head carbon. At the same time, already a covalent bond is formed between head carbon and the halogen. So this is called a transition state, unstable in nature, so that it is enclosed in a bracket. This covalent bond is not completely broken. So bromine is not leaving as a bromide ion because the bond is not completely broken. At the same time, this covalent bond is not completely formed. So it is a transition state. Next, product will be formed. The product will be obtained as an inversion of configuration. How the product is formed? The covalent bond will be broken and the bromine will leave us bromide ion. Leaving group is bromide ion, and this covalent bond is formed. So we will get the product methanol. Now what about the configuration? Configuration represents three-dimensional arrangement of atoms. This is a reactant bromomethane, product methanol. You can see the inversion of configuration, right? The configuration is totally inverted, like an umbrella. So when we go in a rainy season, due to heavy winds, the umbrella will be inverted. The same way, configuration is inverted. This is because of nucleophile attack on head carbon from the back side. So inversion of configuration will be taking place. This was invented by the scientist Walden. So it is called a Walden inversion. Okay. So this is the simplest compound. Bromomethane becomes methanol. In our book, 2-bromo-octane is given. So the reactant is 2-bromo-octane. At second carbon we have halogen bromine. Totally 8 carbon atoms present. So this is 2-bromo-octane. And it is involving in SN2 mechanism. Nucleophile is attacking the head carbon from the back side. So we get transition state, and there will be inversion of configuration. So this is the product. Alcohol is obtained. It's called octane 2-ol. Okay, product is octane 2-ol. So due to this SN2 mechanism, there will be an inversion of configuration. If the reactant is a D isomer, L isomer, this is called a levorotatory, the product will be D isomer. Okay, so due to inversion of configuration, dextrorotatory will be changed into levorotatory, levorotatory will be changed into dextrorotatory. And this is a negative isomer, levo isomer. The carbon is an asymmetric carbon. Carbon is bonded with 4 different atoms or groups. This is asymmetric carbon. Due to inversion of configuration, it becomes dextrorotatory. Minus isomer becomes plus isomer, or we can say levo isomer L becomes dextro isomer D. This is SN2 mechanism. We can take one more example for nucleophilic substitution. We take tertiary butyl bromide. The haloalkane tertiary butyl bromide is attacked by a nucleophile. You will get alcohol. You will get tertiary butyl alcohol. Common name tertiary butyl bromide. This is tertiary butyl alcohol. What about UPOC name? 2-bromo-2-methyl propane. This one 2-methyl propane 2-ol. So this is also nucleophilic substitution reaction. This is following SN1 mechanism. Here 1 represents unimolecular. So how can we say SN1? Unimolecular nucleophilic substitution. Unimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction. So in SN1 reaction, the rate of substitution reaction depends only on the concentration of haloalkane. Rate will not depend on nucleophile. So rate is directly proportional to the concentration of haloalkane. Proportionality can be removed by introducing rate constant K1. So K1 represents, this is following first order kinetics. So first order reaction. So conversion of alkyl halide into alcohol following SN1 mechanism is an example of first order reaction. It follows first order chemical kinetics. And this is a 2-step process. When you take SN1 mechanism, there will be 2 steps. Okay. First step is formation of carbocation. You take first step. The bromine is leaving us bromide anion. So we will get carbocation as the intermediate. Tertiary butyl carbocation. So we have different intermediates like a carbanion, free radicals. This is one of the intermediates. In the first step, bromine is leaving us bromide anion. So we get carbocation. The reaction is, or the first step is slow step. So this is called a rate determining step. this first step will determine the rate of the reaction. So you have to remind it. Always slow step will be the rate determining step. So formation of carbocation is the rate determining step. So second step, carbocation will be attacked by nucleophile. Now nucleophile has two chances. Either nucleophile can attack the head carbon in the front side as well as it can attack from the back side. So there are two possibilities. Nucleophile can attack this head carbon either from front side or back side. So because of this you will get mixture of products. Tertiary butyl alcohol is the product. Okay. So OH minus nucleophile is attacking the head carbon from the front side. When it is attacking in the front side, we will get product with retention of configuration. So the configuration of alkyl halide is regenerated. It is called a retention of configuration. Common name tertiary butyl alcohol. What about UPOC name? 2-methyl propane 2-ol. One more possibility, OH minus can attack this head carbon in the back side. So product may be like this. This is called inversion of configuration. It is totally inverted like an umbrella. So this is also the same product, 2-methyl propane 2-ol with inversion of configuration. So equal possibilities are there. 50% retention of configuration, 50% inversion of configuration. Now this compound is not an optically active. It is not an asymmetric carbon. So the product will also optically inactive. This is not optically active, optically inactive reactant. So product will also be optically inactive substance. And the second step is a fast step. So nucleophilic substitution will follow SN1 mechanism. It is following first order kinetics, but there are two steps. First step is a slow step, formation of carbocation. Second step is a fast step. Carbocation is attacked by a nucleophile. It can attack in two sides, either in front side as well as back side. Optically inactive reactant means product will be optically inactive, no issues. If you have optically active reactant means product 50% retention of configuration, 50% inversion of configuration. So we will get a racemic mixture. Example is 2-bromobutane. Take this secondary alkyl halide. The head carbon is secondary. It is attached with 2 carbon atoms. So this is 2-bromobutane. At second carbon we have the halogen bromine, 2-bromobutane. And this is an asymmetric carbon or chiral carbon. The carbon is bonded with 4 different atoms or groups. Methyl group, bromine, hydrogen, ethyl group. So this is optically active compound because of asymmetric carbon. So when we follow SN1 mechanism, we will get 50% product. Product will be butane 2-ol. This will be replaced by OH. Butane 2-ol will be the product. 50% retention of configuration, 50% inversion of configuration. Right. If this is plus isomer, 50% plus isomer, 50% minus isomer will be formed. So this is called a racemic mixture. And this is optically inactive. Racemic mixture is optically inactive. The mixture contains equal amount of D and L isomers. It's called a racemic mixture. It is optically inactive. So optically active compound will become optically inactive racemic mixture because of SN1 mechanism. What about order of reactivity of alcohols? Order of reactivity of alkyl halide. So we can take the simple alkyl halide, methyl halide, and you can take primary. Secondary alkyl halide, tertiary alkyl halide. What about order of reactivity of these alkyl halides towards nucleophilic substitution reaction? So we have SN2 reaction as well as SN1 reaction. When you consider SN2 mechanism, this will be predominant. Okay. Comparing the reactivity of tertiary alkyl halide, secondary alkyl halide will have more reactivity towards SN2. Comparing secondary, primary alkyl halide will have more reactivity. Comparing that, methyl halide will have more reactivity towards SN2 mechanism. For SN1, the reverse order. For SN1 mechanism, comparing methyl halide, primary will have more reactivity. Comparing primary, secondary alkyl halide will have more reactivity towards SN1, and tertiary alkyl halide will have more reactivity towards SN1 mechanism. With this, nucleophilic substitution reactions over. Next, we move into elimination reactions. So we already studied elimination reactions in lesson number 13. We take the simple alkyl halide. This is ethyl bromide. EPOC name is bromoethane. And we have only 2 carbon atoms. Head carbon is called alpha carbon. The adjacent carbon of alpha carbon is called beta. So what is the position? Head carbon is alpha. The adjacent carbon of alpha carbon is beta. Now usually in elimination reaction, halogen will leave from alpha carbon and hydrogen will leave from beta carbon. So this bromine will leave from the alpha carbon. Out of 3 hydrogen atoms, 1 hydrogen will leave from beta carbon. So we will get alkene. And this is because of a nucleophile, or we can say base. Okay, we can take alcoholic potassium hydroxide as a base. In the presence of potassium hydroxide, halogen will leave from alpha position, hydrogen will leave from beta position. So hydrogen and halogen is leaving. So this is called a dehydrohalogenation. Halogenation is the process of adding halogen. Hydrohalogenation is the process of adding hydrogen halides like HCl, HBr and so on. Dehydrohalogenation means leaving of hydrogen halides like HCl, HBr and so on. So from beta position, a hydrogen is leaving. So this is also called as beta elimination. So when you take alkyl halide in the presence of alcoholic potassium hydroxide, in the presence of a base, there will be beta elimination or dehydrohalogenation. We will get alkene. So the leaving hydrogen will combine with OH minus, it forms water. The leaving halide ion will combine with this potassium cation, it forms salt, potassium chloride or potassium bromide and so on. So this is called beta elimination or dehydrohalogenation. So there are two types of mechanisms. First we can take E2 mechanism. So this is a primary alkyl halide. Head carbon is bonded with only one carbon, primary alkyl halide. Common name N-propyl chloride, UPOC name 1-chloropropane. In the presence of base, alcoholic potassium hydroxide, there will be elimination. Halogen will leave from alpha position, hydrogen will leave from beta position. So this is beta elimination or dehydrohalogenation. We will get an alkene. Okay, so we will get propene as the product. So Cl minus will combine with K plus, it forms potassium chloride. H plus will combine with this OH minus, it forms water. This is an elimination reaction. It is following E2 mechanism, bimolecular elimination reaction. Okay, 2 represents bimolecular elimination reaction. So rate depends on the concentration of reactant haloalkane and the concentration of base. The rate depends on both the concentration of reactant as well as base. So this is following E2 mechanism. Proportionality can be removed by introducing a constant, rate constant. This is a rate expression. This is following second order kinetics, but one step process like SN2. It is a one step process. Okay. Next, E1 mechanism. Alkyl halide involves in beta elimination in the presence of alcoholic potassium hydroxide. Halogen will leave from alpha carbon and we have different beta position. 3 beta carbon atoms present and the hydrogens are beta hydrogen atoms. So any one hydrogen from the beta carbon will leave. So we will get an alkene. Isobutylene will be the product. UPOC name 2-methylpropene. So this is an elimination reaction. It is following E1 mechanism. So in E1 mechanism, like SN1, rate depends only on the substrate or the reactant, haloalkane. So it will not depend on the concentration of base. Proportionality can be removed by introducing a constant. So this is a rate expression of this elimination reaction. So this is following first order kinetics, but two-step process. Okay. This is following E1 mechanism. So there will be 2 steps. First step is a formation of carbocation. First step is a slow step, so it is a rate determining step. The halogen will leave us a halide ion. So first step is the formation of carbocation. Chloride ion is leaving from the alpha position. Second step, the hydrogen will leave from beta position. Okay. This is leaving as H plus. Hydrogen is leaving from beta position. So we will get the alkene. Cl minus will combine with K plus, it forms potassium chloride. H plus will combine with OH minus, it forms water. So second step is a fast step. First step is the formation of carbocation, slow step, and which is a rate determining step. From the carbocation, due to H plus leaving from beta position, we get the product isobutylene or 2-methylpropene as the product. It is a fast step with the byproducts potassium chloride as well as water. So with this, we complete E1 mechanism. So 4 mechanisms we have completed: SN2, SN1, E2 and E1. Next, reaction of alkyl halides with metals. So when you take ethyl bromide, this reacts with methyl in the presence of dry ether as a solvent. We get ethyl magnesium bromide. Okay. Ethyl magnesium bromide is formed. So this is one of the organometallic compounds. It has organic part, it has metallic part. We have a metal magnesium and we have organic part, ethyl group. So this is called an organometallic compound. Simply we say this is a Grignard reagent. Okay. Grignard is the name of a scientist. So these are Grignard reagents. General formula RMgX. Any one alkyl or aryl group will be there. Magnesium will be present and any one halogen. So this is Grignard reagent. Then ethyl bromide can combine with lithium in the presence of dry ether. We will get ethyl lithium. The product is ethyl lithium. So remaining one more lithium metal combines with bromine, which is leaving us lithium bromide salt. Other metals can be considered. You can take an alloy of sodium lead. Okay, we take alloy sodium lead. The reaction is taking place. We will get tetraethyl lead. This is called a tetraethyl lead, simply TEL, along with the liberation of sodium bromide. So these are all reaction of alkyl halides with the metals. Last chemical property of haloalkane is reduction reaction. When alkyl halide is reduced in the presence of metal catalyst like nickel or platinum or palladium at 523 Kelvin, the chlorine will leave and this will become an alkane. Okay, addition of hydrogen is a reduction process. So we will get ethane. Instead of nickel, platinum or palladium, you can take hydrogen iodide also, but this will be added in the presence of red phosphorus. We will get the same product, ethane. So with this chemical properties of haloalkanes over, next uses. You just go through the uses of haloalkanes. With this we complete haloalkanes. Tomorrow onwards we start Grignard reagents. How can we prepare Grignard reagent? Thank you.